Tom Cruise sat in the private screening room of his Beverly Hills estate, staring at a ghost. The man on the 8K screen looked like him. He had the same famous grin. He had the same intense squint. He even had the small scar on the bridge of his nose, but Tom Cruise knew, with absolute certainty, that he had never filmed a commercial for a Japanese energy drink in 2025. He hadn't been to Tokyo in 2 years. It's flawless, his lawyer, Burt Fields, whispered from the shadows of the room. The voice print is a 99.8% match. The micro-expressions are perfect. If I didn't know you were here, I would swear that was you. Tom stood up. He didn't yell. Tom Cruise doesn't yell when he is angry. He gets focused. He gets dangerous. They didn't just steal my face, Burt, Tom said, his voice low. They stole me. They took 50 years of my sweat, my broken bones, my adrenaline, and they fed it into a machine to sell sugar water. He picked up his phone. He didn't call his agent. He called the head of the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA. This is it, Tom said into the phone. Activate the lawyers. Sue them all. Warner Brothers, Paramount, the AI startups. I want to burn it down. This wasn't just a copyright dispute. It was the beginning of the Third World War of Hollywood. The battleground wasn't a set, it was the courtroom. And the prize wasn't an Oscar, it was the ownership of the human soul. Welcome to the darker side of the dream factory. For a century, Hollywood sold us illusions. But today, the illusion has eaten the reality. Studios have quietly begun to stockpile digital twins of their biggest stars. The plan is terrifyingly simple. Why pay Tom Cruise $50 million for a movie when you can lease his AI likeness for a fraction of the cost, make him do stunts that would kill a human, and keep him 30 years old forever? The studios call it asset management. The actors call it digital slavery. Today, we take you inside the lawsuit that will decide the future of art. Can a corporation own a person? And if Tom Cruise can't stop them, what chance do you have? To understand why the studios did this, you have to look at the ledger. David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, is not a villain in his own mind. He is a man trying to save a dying industry. Streaming services are losing money. Box office returns are volatile. Actors are expensive, unpredictable, and mortal. Look at the data, a fictionalized executive might say in a strategy meeting. Harrison Ford is 83. Tom Cruise is in his 60s. When they die, our franchises die. Mission Impossible ends. Indiana Jones ends. Unless they don't die. The digital twin initiative was born out of desperation. The goal was to scan the actors now, while they are still bankable, and lock their digital rights into contracts that last, in perpetuity, throughout the universe. It started with background actors that we spoke to. Sarah, an extra who worked on a Marvel movie. They told me to go into a tent, she says, trembling. There were 100 cameras. They scanned my face, my body, my smile. They paid me $150 for the day. I signed a release form. I didn't read the fine print. Now, my digital clone can be used in any movie, forever, and I never get paid another dime. Sarah was the test subject. Tom Cruise was the whale. The smoking gun wasn't the commercial Tom saw. It was the contract update sent to his agency. Buried on page 47, clause 12b, was a new term. The studio reserves the right to utilize generative AI technologies to synthesize, modify, or recreate the artist's performance for continuity, localization, and marketing purposes, including posthumous exploitation. Posthumous exploitation. Let that sink in. The studio wanted the right to make Tom Cruise act after he was dead. When Cruise's legal team saw this, they realized the magnitude of the betrayal. The studios weren't just hiring actors, they were harvesting them. They were building a library of digital puppets. Tom Cruise is known for doing his own stunts. He hangs off planes. He jumps motorcycles off cliffs. His brand is authenticity. The idea that a computer geek in a basement could type a prompt, Tom Cruise cries over a dead puppy, and generate a photorealistic performance was an insult to his life's work. This war had a prequel. In 2024, Scarlett Johansson fought OpenAI when they released a voice assistant that sounded suspiciously like her character from the movie Her. She won the court of public opinion, forcing Sam Altman to back down, but that was a skirmish. This is the invasion. Cruz's lawsuit argues that identity is a fundamental human right. If a studio owns your face, they can make you say things you don't believe. They can put you in political ads. They can make you star in pornography. They can rewrite your legacy. Imagine a digital Martin Luther King Jr. endorsing a sneaker brand. Imagine a digital Marilyn Monroe starring in a degradingly violent movie in 2030. This is the Pandora's box the studios have opened that we gained access to a whistleblower from a major VFX house. Let's call him Neo. The tech is already here, Neo tells us, his face obscured. We don't need the actor on set anymore. We need their training data. We feed the AI every movie Tom Cruise has ever done. The AI learns how he blinks, how he breathes, how his neck muscles tense when he yells. Neo shows us a demo on his laptop. He types, Tom Cruise delivering the Hamlet soliloquy in seconds, the screen renders it. It is terrifyingly good. The studios love this, Neo explains. No craft services. No trailers. No complaints. No unions. Just pure, controllable content. It's the ultimate capitalist dream, labor without the laborer. When Tom filed the lawsuit, Hollywood stopped. SAG-AFTRA declared a code red. This wasn't just about wages anymore, it was an existential crisis. The picket lines outside Warner Brothers and Disney were different this time. They weren't just writers and actors. They were joined by musicians, artists, and models. Everyone whose livelihood depends on their likeness. Tom Cruise, a man who rarely gets involved in politics, took the microphone at a massive rally in Los Angeles. I am not data. Cruise shouted, his voice cracking with emotion. I am a man. I bleed. I age. And one day, I will die. And when I die, my performance ends. That is what makes it valuable. Scarcity makes art precious. If you can generate 1 million Tom Cruise movies with a button press, then none of them matter, the crowd roared. It was the Braveheart moment of the AI revolution, but the other side has a point too. That we spoke to Dr. Ray Kurzweil, or a similar futurist figure. Tom is fighting the tide, the futurist argues. Did painters stop photography? Did theater actors stop cinema? This is just the next tool. Imagine a world where we can have a new Beatles album every year. Imagine a movie starring young Al Pacino and young Robert De Niro, written by AI Shakespeare. It could be a new renaissance. The studios argue that they are preserving culture. They claim that digital twins allow actors to leave a legacy that lasts forever. They say they are offering digital immortality, but Tom Cruise replies, immortality without consent is just hell. The case has moved faster than any in history. Cruise vs. Warner Brothers Discovery is now before the Supreme Court. The question is simple but profound, is your biometric data property? If the court rules for the studios, it means corporations can own parts of a human being. It means that once you sign a contract, you are selling your digital soul. If the court rules for Cruise, it sets a precedent that could cripple the AI industry. It would mean that every AI model trained on human faces without specific consent is illegal. The judges are divided. The world is watching. Tom Cruise is 63 years old. He knows he can't run forever, but this lawsuit is his final stunt. It is his most dangerous mission. He is trying to save the concept of humanity in an industry that wants to automate it. As we watch him on screen, jumping from a building, we feel a rush of excitement. Why? Because we know it's real. We know there is risk. We know that if he misses, he falls. AI cannot fall. AI cannot fail. And because of that, AI cannot make us feel. Tom Cruise might win the lawsuit, or he might lose. But he has forced us to look in the mirror and ask, are we ready to be replaced by our own reflections? The face on the screen smiles. But the eyes are empty.